Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we have Soul Exchange back in the game. Last week I put out my Soul Exchange ranking video. If you have not already taken a look at that video, definitely do so. I will pin a comment with a link to that video, but today I want to talk about my top 5 tips that you should consider when choosing a hero in Soul Exchange, and then at the end of the video I will go over my top 3 picks and I will choose my Soul Exchange option for this time around. Real quick before we get started, if you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. My first tip is a very basic one. Identify how many souls you are willing to give up. For most people, these are going to be duplicate heroes of the month, or maybe even your last copy of it if it was a shitty hero of the month, which there are a lot of. They could also be duplicate season 1 heroes or other heroes that you just know that you are not going to level up. Sometimes people save season 1 heroes because they'll eventually want to level up a second or third toon or glass costume, but if you don't plan on doing it soon, then it's safe to trade away. In my opinion, chances are you'll pull that hero again at some point. And if you've already got the toon and glass costumes, then you're always going to have them. And then after you've identified how many souls you are willing to give up, then it can either make things easier to decide or maybe sometimes more difficult. But at least you know what you're working with and you can know which categories or tiers of Soul Exchange options for you to look at. Tip number 2, decide if you have someone already worth using in Hero Coach next month, or are any of these heroes more worth it to coach up over the hero you were already considering. We don't know for certain that Hero Coach is coming back in December, as the calendar of events has not yet officially been posted, but I'd safe to say it will be coming back in December. Small Giant has been pretty consistent with the rotating schedule each month of Soul Exchange, Hero Coach, and the Outfitter event, and Soul Exchange would come back based on that rotation in December. Out of the 15 options in Soul Exchange, there are 6 heroes that are currently eligible for Hero Coach, with a 7th one who would be eligible on December 18th. So depending on the timing of when Hero Coach comes back, again, presumably in December, choosing a hero in Soul Exchange that is eligible for Hero Coach next month could play a factor in who you choose. If you already have your heart set on coaching someone up, then this is something you do not need to consider, or again, maybe this is another one of those situations where it makes things more difficult. And here are the 6 heroes who are definitely eligible for Hero Coach. Satori is the hero who will be eligible on December 18th. So we've got Phantom of the Opera, Ojima, Lysanor, Sparklight, Hetepheres with just the main version for Hero Coach, and then you would have to level up her costume. And then we've got Dark Feather and then Satori again on December 18th. Tip number 3, what Ascension and Limit Break materials do you have? Do you have an excess of a specific 4-star Ascension item, or are you lacking specific 4-star Ascension items? What about Limit Break materials? If you are not planning on using your Soul Exchange option in Hero Coach, then you should make sure that you have the materials to level them up to at least level 80, but ideally Limit Break materials to get them past there also. Emblems and Masterclass emblems is something that you also want to take into consideration. The last thing you want to do is get them to level 80 and find out that you've only got 90 or 100 Druid emblems. Obviously, you can use an emblem reset token, but make sure that you have somebody that you're willing to use that on. If you don't have the materials to level up your top pick in Soul Exchange, that doesn't mean you definitely should not grab that hero, but just know it could be a while before you're actually able to use them. And by the time you do get the appropriate materials, will you by then have other heroes that you'll want to have take priority over that hero? Something to consider. Tip number 4, design a team with the hero you are thinking about choosing. This is something that I learned from someone who used to be in my alliance and has been around many other top alliances in the game, including the 7 Days family. Many of you probably know him, Stan, also known as Touch Me. I use this build a team mentality when leveling up just about any hero because of him. Too many times, myself and others, maybe even you, have leveled up a hero that is hardly ever used. I've got heroes that I have at level 90 that I rarely use, and not because they have outdated stats, but because I couldn't find a team to put them on. Anyone who watches my war videos knows that I'm pretty strategic about the teams that I create, and I've been very selective of the heroes that I have been leveling up lately. There is no point in leveling up a shiny new hero if you don't have an actual use for them. So whoever you are thinking about leveling up, build a potential team with them, or at least 2 to 3 heroes that you think would have good synergy with that hero. Tip number 5, if you don't think you are going to level up a hero that you get from Soul Exchange, don't pick one. Over the last 2 years, we have had 8 Soul Exchange events. I did skip one of them, August 2024, and I probably should have skipped others because there's been only 3 heroes that I have maxed out of those 8, or rather out of the 7 ones that I actually did pick. The pinned heroes are the ones I have taken in Soul Exchange over the last 2 years. The 2 that I use fairly regularly in wars, if not every war, are Oniwakamaru and Kushanku, and I also use costumed Athena for every red Titan. These other 5 heroes, I have Guardian Hippo up to 3.70. I gave Phoenix some food, but I haven't touched the others, including Garten, who I just got a few months ago. And for Hippo, by the time I got her up to 3.70, I needed the Ascension materials for somebody else that I had gotten in the middle of grabbing her and leveling her up. But the other 4, I haven't really touched at all. So this is my last tip. If you are not going to level up a hero from Soul Exchange, don't take one. If you have a big surplus of 5-star heroes, use them as feeders if you want. And if you are free to play or don't get a lot of 5-star heroes because you don't do a lot of pulls, save them for in 3 months when there might be a better option for you. This would also probably be a smart decision if you've only got enough heroes for the 10 Soul Exchange category and there just isn't somebody worth it for you. And those are my top 5 tips for Soul Exchange. Now let's take one final look at the Soul Exchange options this time around. I'll go over my top 3 picks and choose my selection. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I did put out a full ranking video a week ago. Again, if you haven't checked out that video, definitely do so. I'll pin a comment with a link to that video down below. All right, so I'm going to start this top 3 pick option with a healer, and that is going to be Costume Hetepheres. She has the best stats out of any of these heroes with a total individual power of 1593, and these max preview stats are as if you were to follow the talent path all the way to the left. Obviously, that's going to include the attack masterclass emblems, and you would want to take the defense path for Hetepheres. I've seen versions of her that have over 1900 shield. That is a very strong healer. She's average mana speed, deals 54%, or rather, recovers 54% health for all allies. All allies get plus 64% defense against nature, and a further 3% increase every time they are hit during 4 turns, up to plus 88% defense. And then all enemies get minus 45% accuracy for 4 turns. It is all so worth noting the guaranteed effect on special skill when you get her costume. She gets that passive, and she's got this passive right here. No, this one right here. Effects on special skill. Normally it's a 60% chance. It becomes a 100% chance to boost health of all allies by 10%. Boosted health can exceed max HP, and then also cleanses the latest cleansable status ailments from all allies. So she's actually going to recover 64% health when you add in the 54% plus the 10%. Only 10% of that can be boosted health, but the regular health or regular heal does come first. The boosted health comes afterwards. So if you need a good healer, Hetepheres is a solid option for you. My next pick is going to be none other than Darkfeather, one of the most coveted heroes in the game. If you have not already gotten him, then you are probably going to want to consider grabbing him this time around. I did a gameplay video with him. I will pin a comment down below with a link to that also if you want to check that out. But his average mana speed first recovers 25% health for all allies. All allies get 180 attack and 180 defense growth. And then all allies have a 50% chance to deal 270% damage to a random enemy after any subsequent special skill is cast for 3 turns. If you use all 5 purple specials at the same time, that will activate every single time somebody's special goes off. Darkfeather is a very fun hero to use. I wish his stats were a little higher. And if you do get him, this has been a question I've been getting from quite a few people. If you do get him, and if you are only going to use him for Titans and Mythic Titans, I would recommend going the attack path for him. If you are going to use him in wars, which in many cases you still can, then I would go the defense and health path. That way you can get that shield higher. My version of him, I went defense and health on him, and I think I've got the shield at like 1497 or something like that. It's somewhere around the 1500 mark, but I believe slightly below it. And then my third top pick is going to be Damon. I did a gameplay of him a couple days ago as well. I'll pin a comment with that video also, but he is very fast mana speed, dispels buffs from the target first, then blocks talent skill activation for the target for 3 turns. That means if they are a druid class, they won't get any thorn minions. happens if they are a fighter class. They won't be able to revive, etc. He then deals 485% damage to the target. The target cannot cast any new status effects on enemies or allies for 3 turns. So Damon is extremely useful against Bernadette. He is useful against Gurik, and actually was useful against Gurik even before the nerf. He's going to be useful against any enemy who has a unique special skill or unique status effect that they cast, whether that is a buff on their own allies or an ailment on your team. And I love that fact that he gets his special in just 6 tiles, being very fast mana speed, or you do need a mana troop to get him down to 6 tiles, because very fast mana speed heroes come in at 6.5 tiles technically. You only need 9% mana generation to get them up to, or get them down to 6 tiles. So any mana troop or any legendary troop will get Damon down to 6 tiles. And that is actually who I am going to be selecting this time around. I already have Damon. I've already got Darkfeather. I have Hetepheres, but unleveled. I've got a lot of good blue healers. I've also got Mina as well leveled up, although I don't really use him much anymore. But having a second copy of Damon would definitely be useful for me as another counter to Bernadette, especially during Rush War. All right, so let's grab my second Damon here. I've got my heroes already pre-selected, and here we go with my second Damon. Let me know who you decided to grab this time around in Soul Exchange, and that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful, and if you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.